What's up, guys, and welcome back to another City Skylines stream, and we are back in the gorgeous city of Petra Vallis, taking a look at our new observatory that we got in there last time, looking pretty cool on the mountaintop inside of the Hickory District. I believe that's the Hickory District that we also built up quite a lot. In fact, we've pretty much filled it up last time we were here in the city. Let's take a look at the traffic. 82%. It is a little busy coming in here because this is kind of the only way to get into that area unless you're coming from this side of the mountain. So maybe we'll get some more access roads to there, but also we have access to the monuments, speaking of access, and we don't have any yet in this city, so maybe today is the day that we can at least start working towards getting some of these monuments, especially the Eden Project. That's always the one I typically go for first, but we could also go for maybe the ultimate recycling plant. That would definitely be useful as well. Hadron Collider, if we want to ruin our farms completely. Medical center, can't go wrong with that. But yeah, we'll maybe try to find some space for those guys. See if we can start working towards getting those. But first things first, I do want to throw some roads down and see if we can maybe get a road coming up in here, I'm thinking, because we have a sort of this road with nothing going on, so it might be a good spot for some type of in-out, maybe highway system, maybe a rail system. Maybe we could get some rails coming to here, because we do have this highway expressway, which has a light there. Let's take that away. Don't think we need a light there. Let's also make sure the lanes are good, so they shouldn't need any sort of junction signals there. But yeah, maybe some sort of on-off ramp there. Maybe right down here to get people going over here. Because I don't think we would need a ramp, a full on-off ramp junction, just because if anyone was gonna go, I'll just say for the lack of a better term, north here, if they wanted to go up, they probably wouldn't take this road. They would probably just exit out over here. It wouldn't really make sense for them to come all the way down here just to go back up. So I think if we just had an off-ramp going that way and an on-ramp going down, I think that would be good. So let's maybe try to work on that. And if we do want to get some more rails in, we could do another maybe cool tunnel to a bridge to another tunnel and have it pop up over here. Maybe put a train station back here on the opposite side of the road, and then the junction on this side. Let's see what we can do. So let's grab some roads, and let's maybe go from here. I think that'd be a good spot. And it is a little bumpy, so maybe we'll smooth it just a touch. It's pretty steep. Actually, let's just make this a lot smoother. Let's go from there all the way to here. So instead of it being a rather steep hill up here and then flat down here, it's just one gradual slope, which I think will be a little better. And how are we doing on our demand? We have a lot of office demand, a little bit of residential demand, but not too much. But maybe by the time we're done with this, we'll get a little bit more. Alright, so we're gonna have this coming almost as if it was coming right to here, and then we can split the ramps accordingly. actually looking pretty good right there. So we'll stop you there. And this is going to get a little crazy here. We may do tunnels for these ramps, because going up this might be a little crazy. It is very steep there. It is very rocky. Let's also turn this into highway road here, because we don't need that zoning. And we'll grab our highway ramp. Actually, I lied. We're going to change that back. Just for now, we will eventually convert it to highway, but with this and the little bit of zoning, we can actually take our ramp roads, and that way they can go right parallel along the road, and then we'll convert it. There we go. Just to make things look a little nicer. And this road probably won't come down this far, because we're probably going to connect it all the way up here. Let's maybe do a little connection just like that and just like that, except going the opposite ways. And we can get rid of those guys. And that looks pretty good. And then down here, we might have a little bit of an issue, but maybe not, with these ramps. And let's get them raised a little bit. I want it to kind of match the level. Nope, it's close enough, right? Close enough to that level. Go into there, and you go into there. And like I said, we'll make it so they can't U-turn once we get it hooked up properly. Hey, MP! Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Alright, we'll lower that a bunch to get it nice and in line with the rest of the highway, just to make it all pretty. That looks pretty good. And yeah, I think we'll just continue it right underground, and then we'll pop it up over there. So let's lower this side a little bit as well. Nope. Yep, that gets a little close to the earth there. But it's looking good. Alright, that looks not too shabby. Just laying in bed, waiting for me to get online. I know I'm a little late tonight. I apologize for that. But we're still here. We're still building. Okay, let's get this going underground into a tunnel. Ooh, this might actually... Will this collide with the train? This is gonna be a little trickier than I originally intended. Let's see, it's weird, because if we connect it to the road, it works. But if we just have it go straight through, it does not. Maybe we just need to go further. Or go under. If we go under. Yeah, that's what we need to do. So we'll go underneath. And we'll take that back a little bit. So also go under with this guy. And this one probably doesn't need to go deeper. Or maybe it does, because the slope as a very steep slope. So let's see where we want this tunnel to actually pop up, because it doesn't need to come this far, especially since the connection is all the way up there. So I think that bit should be plenty of room to get a nice slope. So you go to there, you're going to go underneath the highway, underneath the train line, and hopefully connect. Oop, still. Is it too steep? It is too steep. Alright, we're backing it up even further then. And that is not connected, apparently. Oh, it's connected, it's just not going the right way. There we go. So that's all going the right way. That's a lovely curve, right? Let's see if we can move that just to make it a little nicer. I know it doesn't really matter because it's underground, but it makes me feel a little better knowing that it's somewhat reasonable of a curve. It's not too treacherous. Especially underground. Might be a little scary for a sudden sharp turn to occur. Alright, let's also back this one up just so they're nice and even. And that's no problem. And that's going to come right out to there, which looks good. It's connected up to there. We can adjust the tunnels to make them nice. The only thing I think we need is a couple lane fixes to make sure they can't turn to the left, and they can't either. And let's just... yeah, this is a little weird looking in there. So we'll just lower that, which I'm sure is doing terrible things to the road underneath the earth. But it looks good to us. Looks good above ground. Oh, look at that. Look how beautiful that looks. Lovely tunnels. Do we dare look underground at how steep it looks? A little a little bit. Just a touch steep. Ooh, that is some wacky tunnels. I think this one actually might be the craziest. We can fix it a little bit. Is that a tree? Did I select a tree or the road? I honestly can't tell. I think it was the road. Nope, that's a tree. Not the road node. The road node. There it is. I mean, I'm sure that's not helping at all. It's still very steep. But it's okay. It's underground. We can't see it. This part looks good. That's all we care about. And that does actually look pretty cool. I'm really happy with how that turned out. And hopefully, some people are already using it, which is fantastic. Coming right in to the Hickory District. Let's see if there's a junction there. There should be. There isn't. There should be, though. Let's also change this to be above ground. A 3-lane road, asymmetric, so we get a little bit of a turning lane in there, just because I think that's pretty cool. And we'll do the same on this side. Go back a little further. So we get another turning lane as well. You guys can only go to there. You guys can go to there. You guys can only go to there. You guys can only go to there. So we have some lovely little turning lanes, which I think look cool. They might be a little too large. I don't think turning lanes are usually that large, but it's okay. Hey, Kinu. Welcome. Alright, that looks pretty cool. And it's helping the traffic flow back up to 84. And hopefully it's gonna make this one not as busy. Because it is fairly busy. Or it was. It's actually doing alright for now. The cargo hub still getting used, but it's not completely packed. So that's good. We do have a fire over here. Oh yeah, that's right. This was the big traffic issue, but it's doing okay. How is our industry doing? Looks like our worker issue isn't really too problematic right now. So that's good. Things are going well in the city. But now, let's start thinking about what monuments do we want to get? I usually go for the Eden Project first, but I don't know. This time I'm thinking maybe the Ultimate Recycling Center, because garbage is doing okay in the city. We've got a good spread of garbage facilities, but every now and then I'll see a little indicator for garbage, so maybe we'll go for that one first. It's also not huge, so we don't have to dedicate like a big spot for it. Like for the Eden Project, I feel like I always need to make a specific area for the Eden Project, but the Ultimate Recycling Center is actually fairly small. It's a shame we can't see how big it is. What milestones do we have left to get? We actually have all the milestones, which is surprising, I know, because we only have 62,000 population. But I think the cap for the last milestone was around 40,000. Let's actually look at it. Yeah, Megalopolis was 40,000, and that was the last milestone. This map was weird because all the milestones were slightly lower than what they usually were, which is the first time I've actually seen that. I didn't know you could alter what the milestone was. I thought it was just a set population for everything. But I guess when you create the map, you can create the milestones. And I'm assuming they made it a lot lower because there's not a lot of land, especially if you only have the original 9 tiles. Because our original 9 tiles was essentially just like these 9. So you could definitely see we wouldn't have had these areas over here, and obviously the island, which has a lot of our commercial on it. But harder to get a lot of population if you don't have the 81 tiles mod. Alright, how's the industry doing up here? Still doing okay. That's good. Oh, I was also going to look to see, do we want to try to get a train station in here? Let's take a look at our public transportation. How are we doing? 63 people using trains in the entire city. Those metros, though, almost 3,000 people. Those metros are very, very efficient. Let's see, we got the orange line getting some use, the green line, obviously. And that one's actually going to our international airport. And then the other green line coming down to the tourism. Yeah, currently this is our only pedestrian train station. The other ones we have are for cargo. And that one comes up to here. So let's, if we wanted to continue this line, which we totally could. I totally think we could. We could hopefully bring this underground or above ground. Continue it over, and actually above ground might be cool. If we do it above ground and then tunnel underneath the expo center. That might be pretty crazy. And then come down through here, or come down through the mountain and follow along this train line. And then into a train station there. Or we could put the train station somewhere down here, because there's a little bit more high density right in here. I don't know where it would fit in though. There's not really too much space for a train station unless we kind of threw it in right there. How about ferries? I don't know if ferries would really work, especially for this area, because it is so high on a cliff. So it'd be kind of difficult to get those guys. We could maybe do some ferries down to here, but I don't think people are really using the ferries. Especially since, actually they're using them more than the trains. A lot of tourists using the ferries. But maybe we'll just do more metro, because metro just works the best and is the most efficient. Have we tried taxis? We don't have any taxis in the city. I usually put, if I do put taxis, I put them by the airport, because I feel like that's where you see taxis the most, you know, for the tourists coming in that don't have a car. They'll take a taxi. But I find that they never use the taxis, especially with the international airport being used by almost 12,000 people. But because the international airport has the convenient metro line, they don't really prefer the taxis, because the metro line's just quicker and cheaper, and you don't have to have those awkward taxi cab conversations. Those are the worst. But maybe we will do a taxi. Let's do it. Why not? It can't hurt. And I'll just kind of fill up. Oh, look at that. Perfect spot for the taxi depot as well. Makes it worth it. So we'll do that. We'll put a little taxi stand there. We'll put two. Put one on either side of the road. And we'll put one down there. Get rid of that power line. There it is. And put another one there as well. So we've got a couple taxis. It is kind of weird that that doesn't line up because of the dirt road. We could move the dirt road, but I'm not going to do that. We'll just leave it. It'll have to do. We could maybe put another parking lot, but that's just silly. Also, why don't you have power? You definitely have power. Did we not have enough power in the city? Did I delete something? Oh, I did. I deleted this. Look at me. Always deleting power. I know you were waiting, MP. You were waiting to yell at me. Look at that. I delete power and someone dies. Feels bad. Alright, so the taxis are there. Let's throw maybe a couple more in the city as well. Maybe by like the stadium over here might be good. Because we do have some spots like right here where we don't have anything, and these don't really take up that much space because they are just one deep. So I don't mind that being there. Just hanging out. See if we have any other awkward little spots, like maybe right there. Next to the harbor? Yeah, the harbor might have a little room. We could throw it. Oh, maybe not. We could throw it there. It's kind of an awkward spot. I would like it right. Well, we could put it there. Maybe we'll put it there. That way, the hotel can use it too. So we've got a couple in the downtown. Maybe by the train station. The train station would be another good spot. And then let's maybe look for a couple spots in here as well. Bazik, thank you very much for the follow. We also, what is this? What's going on here? They just don't want to build there. Interesting. Why don't you guys want to build? Lovely little area. I guess they want a taxi stand. There you go. That's what you want. That's what you'll get. A little taxi stand there. By the Theater of Wonders. Yeah, we could actually delete that. Put a taxi stand perfectly in there. That's awesome. Just move that a smidge. There we go. Looking good. So a couple taxi stands. Any spot in here that's open? Relatively. How about these little... Actually, is that one building? That is one building. I thought that was multiple single buildings, but it's not. Well, it actually is. It's one building made up of single buildings. Interesting. It's throwing me off. It's making me think it's a bunch of tiny buildings, but it's not. Alright, how about by the Central Park? Any spots in here? Ooh, what is this? What's going on here? That might be a good spot. We'll take away those buildings, but that's okay. Let's put a couple paths in there as well. Oh, interesting. You won't actually let me do that? It's okay. We can make it work. Beautiful. Get rid of you guys. So we can link those up. Or kind of link them up. Make them look like they linked up. Oh. There we go, that looks pretty good. A couple single buildings are going to grow in there, but that's fine. Oh, also, we never finished this area. We never did the fine details. Let's maybe get some nice big green trees in here. Since it is a very green building, I want it to look very manicured and fancy. Get some bright ones in there as well. Yeah, it looks good. Nothing too over the top. Ooh, but maybe, if we can do this. Put some trees on the roads as well. That's one way. Let's do not one way. See an overview of the city? Oh yeah, sure, no problem. we can take a look at this very sprawling city. We'll give you the top-down view, if we can. Can we get the zoomed out? There we go. Oh. I could have swore we could zoom out more. Maybe not. But anyway, started the city up in here. This little tiny suburb. Quickly expanded across the water onto these little peninsulas here. And then it was just a matter of time before we hopped over the mountain. Now we got some areas over here on the coast. A lot of industry. And we've recently been working on this spot down here, getting that filled up. Looking pretty good. Getting the city finally sort of connected together. And then, of course, we have our tourism island with our international airport, which is a little crazy and maybe a little unsafe having so many tall buildings close to an airport, but you know what, we're making it work. We haven't had any plane crashes yet, so we're okay. You just saved and closed your game for the night. Oh, nice. Doing some building of your own. Always fun. Oh. Alright, what were we doing? We were finishing up detail on that. That's looking pretty good. It actually looks somewhat complete. Maybe could use a little more, but I think it's looking not too bad. We got the golf course in there. How's the traffic doing down here? Still pretty good, which I'm a little shocked at because it is such a large tourism area. But it's doing okay. And we got some taxis in. Let's see if they're getting used. 4 people. We did it, guys. 4 people are using it. And just barely under 3,000 citizens using those metros. But speaking of which, let's put some more of those in. Let's maybe get a metro line down in this area, since it is pretty dense. It's a pretty dense zone. I just don't know where we're gonna bring that line from. We've got the purple line connecting those up. Got the orange line connecting those up. So this station might get very busy if we have another line go to it. But it is, you know, in the core center of everything. So we can give it a shot. Maybe we'll do another station. Maybe instead of funneling everyone into that station, we'll do a second one. Maybe across the street. So if they want to continue on, or maybe not even across the street, but just down a little further. So if they want to continue on from there, they can hop off of that line, maybe get onto this line down here. And I would like to put it going the other way, like going like that, but on this side of the road. It's weird that it won't let me do that. Maybe if we delete you, then you'll let me do it? No, I said delete. They just keep coming back. Interesting. It won't actually let me turn it. I mean, I guess that would work. It would do its job. You can't even tell. Oh, maybe it's because it's on a bit of a hill. That might be why. I also have these power lines. Do we need these power lines still? Answer's probably yes. Let's see, that's connecting the 2 sides of the mountain together, so probably gonna need those guys. But let's see if we can maybe move them a little bit so they're not right in the way of everything. So if we did that, hopefully they'll turn blue. There we go. get rid of you guys so we have a little more room to work with. Also, it just makes the downtown a little nicer, not having giant power lines, especially since there's so many people, so many people. These people aren't even walking. They're just stopped. What is going on with these people? Where are you going? Going to the Statue of Industry. I think you are on the wrong side of town, my friend. I don't even know where the Statue of Industry is. I've never seen people just stand still. Did I break the game somehow? Are they all waiting to turn into cars? I think they might be waiting to turn into cars. That is very odd. Or maybe they're waiting for the new metro station to open. Like all these people. Look at them. Look at them go. Alright, let's raise that up a bit just to make that a little more flat there. And raise these guys up too. Oh, if you can. Let's pause the game first. Get those buildings dug up. Yeah, that's okay. Alright, so we have another station. We're going to have that come down to this busy area. And do we have any really big points of interest down here? We have the Grand Library, which might be a pretty good point of interest. A couple parks. We've got, I think it's the Neighborhood Park and then the Grand Mall. So maybe putting it kind of on the main road here would be a good spot. We could always put two, put one down here and one down there, which might be a good idea. Let's do that. Let's give people some options. And we have a spot right there. Kind of funky with it being on a curved road, but it's still gonna do the job. And then we'll put the other one over here, yeah, by the mall. I think would be a good idea. I can put it right there. Or we could put it right there. I think that's the best spot. So now we'll link these up. Have you go to there. And hopefully you go to there. Ooh. That's what I was afraid of. Slope being too steep. Those metro lines being too steep. Alright, I have to do a little bit of terrain magic here. Try to get just enough of a slope to make this work. Ooh, it's so close. And by so close, I mean probably not close at all. Yeah, I think it's actually the bit up here that's causing the issue. Still so steep. Can't do anything about it. Alright, I didn't want to do this too much, but it looks like we're going to have to. Get a big bump. Maybe a wider bump would help too. Oh, still. That looks reasonable. Game. I think you should let me do that. Oh, wait, we had it for a second. There we go. A little bit at a time. Almost. Or is it too steep now? Down here? Maybe raise up underwater. still the part up here. I think it's still the part up there. Raise you. We can always lower the dirt after we actually put in the station. Wow, that's still not working. Alright. Make a land bridge. And then we'll just take it all away. There we go. Whew. That was way too much effort for a metro station. And we can take some back. And we could even move it. Just to make it go even lower. Yeah, see? We have our ways of making it work. Perfect. Definitely not steep at all. Alright, that looks okay. I can live with that. Let's just maybe bring it down a little bit so it's not as noticeable. And then that's connected up to here and there. And we'll just make that one continuous line. Look at all the people happy. And we go down to there. And then we could also put a stop somewhere up here and then connect those two. So let's see. We have the Mall of Moderation there. Weiss, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome, welcome, everyone. We're just doing some building, trying to get our public transportation in order in our lovely city here. And as always, I am struggling with my metros. Never know where to put them. I think maybe we'll do another 2 stops, because I liked having multiple stops. That way, people have options. It's always good to give your citizens some options. Alright, we'll get you right on the corner there. And then down here, more of in the high density area. And I do want it on a corner. I think this is a police station. Yeah. Maybe move the police station over just a bit. And I'll throw you right on the corner. So you can go to there. And you can go down to there. And we'll do another line that goes into here. Metros are always a challenge. Yeah, I don't know the proper way to set them up. Because I used to do them kind of as giant loops, and you can kind of see that like up here, where I make like a continuous loop of areas. But now we're starting to get into just like single lane connections. So I don't know what the best is. I need to take a class on how metros work. Oh, we're over 3,000 people using them. I also want to change the color of this line. Let's make it like a nice like orange. I guess we already have it on orange. Maybe make it a little more yellow. That way, at this station, we'll be able to see who's using the yellow line, who's using the green line, if they are. If anyone uses it at all. But it's certainly not going to hurt having some more metros. pathways in here just to fill up the space. Let's see if we can squish them together a little bit. So they connect and look like one big piece of pavement. I'll even scooch that a little closer. That looks pretty good. Let's see, already a couple people going in there, so that looks good. Love seeing people walking around. Oh, let's take a look with our first person view that we got. Let's get in there. Look at this view. Oh, people just biking right in. There they go. Take a look at the mini downtown here. Ooh, the pavement is a little uneven. Might have to fix that a bit. Oh, hello. Hello, sir. Gentlemen. Nice to meet you. Take a trip down the avenue. This is our curvy main road, which is maybe a little crazy. A lot of shops. Nice stoplight. Looking very cool. I like the curve. The curve is nice. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, what do we need now? We got the metros in. People are already using both lines, which is good. Nice to see people using the yellow line and the green line. Also going to help the traffic a little bit. Get some people off the road, off the highways. A lot of people using that station as well. I'm glad to see people using both stations. This one, not as busy. Well, maybe we'll see some people going. Just a handful. But this one, that's the moneymaker right there, which is understandable because it is going to a large tourism area. And it is in a tourism area, so... But we're over 3,000, almost 600 tourists. Feels good. Alright, what do we need for the ultimate recycling plant? We need the bird and bee haven, which I thought we had in the city already, but I guess we didn't. And that's actually not too rough of a building to put in because it's pretty slim. It's very long. It's a very long, skinny building. And this area doesn't really have anything going for it in terms of unique buildings. Would it fit in there? It would fit in there. We could replace some offices with it. Or even put it along sort of the entrance road. I kind of like that. The only part of this location that I don't like is it's right by farms. But it is a bird and bee haven. And farms are pretty naturey. There's also a fire. That might be not the best for the birds and the bees. We do also have this little spot, which we could sort of renovate. Because it would... Oh, that would actually look pretty good. Let's go with that. Let's see how that looks. It's a little sunken. Just a touch. Just a smidge. We only got rid of offices, I believe. I don't think we got rid of any houses. But I like that. I think that's a good spot. Maybe try to smooth this a little bit if we can. Oh, no. Bring it down. That's going to be a little ugly. We could always throw some trees in. Some extra trees. And what kind of trees do we actually have here? Those are interesting looking guys. Are these? These? These are these. Maybe throw some of these all on the cliff face here. Make it look like this park doesn't just end on a sharp line, but kind of just expands and trails off. Make it a little more natural looking, while also hiding some of that ugly terrain. There we go. See, that looks a little more natural. It doesn't look as square, which I think is good. And we'll throw a couple along the side here as well. Because I'm sure those birds and those bees want a little bit of privacy from all the residents living nearby. I think that looks pretty nice. I'm actually really happy with that. Alright, we got a little bit of a cliff right there. What's going on there? Can we maybe smooth that one? Just a little bit. It's a little better. It's not as obvious. Oh, we got the bird and the bee haven. We need the Climate Research Center. I don't know where that would fit in, though. That's not necessarily a large building either. I think it's another sort of skinny-ish building. Yeah, it's not too big. Climate Research. Where do we want to put you? I feel like that would go by a university, maybe. Ellie, thank you very much for the host. I appreciate that. Welcome. How are you doing this evening? We have a lot of parks there. Alright, that wouldn't fit in there. I would replace those parks if that fit. Hello, Dama Jens. Welcome. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. That is so close to fitting. We could sort of just bump that out a little bit if we really wanted to put it there. Oh, it would actually fit there as well. Good enough? Okay, I'll take it. I'll take close. That actually does fit perfectly there, doesn't it? What are we losing there? Just offices? I'm okay with losing offices. Damagens, thank you very much for the follow. I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling about this. Let's put it in, see what it looks like. Can always delete it. Ooh, it is very open. That is the one thing about this building, quote unquote. I feel like if it was where the parks are, I'd be okay with it. Because it's so close to the main road, I feel like it's a little weird looking. I feel like maybe it should be somewhere a little more open, a little more spacious. I feel like they'd want a good view of the sky since it is, you know, climate research for all their radars and fancy equipment. So let's get rid of you. We'll put all those offices back. Tried to play this the other day and got such a headache. Oh no. Well, hopefully you don't get a headache from watching. Couldn't figure out how to get the roads to work, and there's trash everywhere. Sounds like the start to the city. Don't worry, that still happens to me sometimes. Alright, where would a nice open spot for climate research? Cool blimps. We do have some really cool blimps. They're not really functioning. They do just kind of float around. I don't think people use them. A couple people use them. They're more for just show. Just because I think they look cool. Especially going around stadiums and stuff. Ooh, I think maybe up here would be a good spot for the climate research area. It's on top of a hill. It's relatively open. There's just not a lot of area. We could maybe buy this tile. Let's do that. Let's buy a couple more tiles. Hope at least one person has the blimps built into their morning commute. I know I would. If I could take a blimp to work every day, I would totally do that. How are the taxis doing? Let's check out. Let's see. 2 people per week and 2 tourists. So they're getting used by somebody. Somebody who hasn't installed the Uber app yet. So probably an old person. Still using the taxis. But yeah, I've always found that the taxis don't get used too much. I don't know what it is about them. I think it's just, maybe if we didn't have metros, they would get used a little more. But I think with the metro option being so close, people just prefer that instead. Alright, get that going in there. Maybe what we'll do is something similar to how we did the observatory, where we'll give them their own sort of little dirt path going back there. I think maybe that'll be good. Ellie, thank you very much for the 15 bits. Appreciate it. Do something a little bit like that. You can just have it going right back there. I don't want there to be any zoning on it though. That's the only thing. Ooh, you know what would be cool actually? Maybe we'll try this. We'll see if we can get this to work. What if we made it a bridge, but then we'll lower it so it's not actually a bridge? That way we don't get the zoning, and hopefully we'll get a cool, I want a cool bridge. Hey Rusky, welcome. There we go, that's the cool bridge we want. So I'll put that there. And then we'll grab it. And move it. Ooh, that's funky. It's looking funky. I've made a roller coaster. not make this look like a cartoon. Should get the network extensions mod. I've seen that, and I always talk in my head. Talk in my head? I always tell myself. That's what I meant to say. I always tell myself I should maybe look into getting that one, because it does look like it has a lot of cool extra road bits and options. And what's going on right here? What is that? That's a little weird looking. Alright, that's okay. We just need a little bit. I don't want too much. I'm gonna get you going right to there. And put a little bit of a connection to the road. Looks good. That way we don't disturb these houses with the zoning, and also get a cool looking bridge. Go right back there. Because it doesn't even, it's not even a big building, it's a very small building. And I think I like that. I think I like it being a little more secluded. Smooth it up a little bit to make it look as good as possible.